Today we get to share some flying time with David. David is progressing quite well in his flight training, so in this lesson we expand his aviation horizons and introduce short-field takeoff and landing techniques. These techniques are for advanced pilot training. We are flying much closer to the aircraft's stalling angle of attack and therefore require greater attention and monitoring of the approach airspeed. So come with us and enjoy.
Yeah, so short fields, which we'll do today, are very much about airspeed. You want as little airspeed as you possibly can to be safe. Too much, you're going to land long. Too little, you're going to land very short. Nice day. But we're not airborne yet. All could be driven, couldn't it? So, one of the things I've now got to start developing with you is this situational awareness. You picked up he was 10 miles away, that was really good. Let's say we nearly up the end here and he says I'm turning base, or someone says I'm turning base. Who has the right of way to start with?
He has the right of way.
So what would you do?
Move grass right.
Yeah, you could do that, but don't forget the gliders use this sometimes. What I would be, if he said he was turning base, I would get off this runway to start with and I'd head over basically where that big tree is over there.
Yep. On
over there. And because that's sort of off the runway, because you've got plenty of time. So you could say to him, I see you on base, I'll exit to the left and hold, something like that. Just gives him a clear indication, you know he's there. He'll go around if he has to, but you don't want to embarrass him unnecessarily. So this is our mark we're going to talk about landing and stopping by. Fairly short, isn't it?
Should be interesting.
How
far up do you want me to go, or do you just want me to do a normal takeoff?
This will be, we're going to do a short field, I'll do the takeoff.
Understood.
Just to show you first. So again, technically we don't need to worry about it today. We use every inch of runway we can get on a short field. You might just need it at the other end. So what would you call if he said I'm on final now? What would you do?
Well, we would hold, and he can land long.
Not land long. Cannot land over the top of someone. I'd exit. Do a U-turn very quickly. Head over there where we started from. Okay, my controls.
Your controls.
So we're going to do a short field takeoff. So we've pushed the plane out, got the tail over the fence as best we can. We've checked flaps are set to where we want them. At this stage we use half. Green, green, green. Fuel pump is on. So there's nothing else we can check to make sure it's not safe. So the plan now is we're going to hold the brake on, okay, and start pushing the power on. You don't need to jam it on, but we want to hold it here. We don't want to go anywhere. So I normally unbuckle it so it's ready to go and flip it over, because you don't want to have full power and it doesn't go anywhere. So ease the power on. 3,000 revs. We let it go. Hand on stick. Hand on. I'm starting to pull back already. The right foot. Don't need to. There's the nose off the ground. And she'll come off when she's ready. There we are, 55 knots, and we're airborne. Now we're going to fly along in ground effect. There we are there, up and over the tree. Back down to ground effect if we needed to. And fly along the runway, do it at 80 knots. Away we climb. Your controls.
My controls.
Very good, wasn't it? 7385, 7693.
7693, 7385. What's your position?
Yeah, we're nearly about to turn crosswind on 13. Your position?
Have you in sight? I'm following.
You'll go number 2.
Green circuits.
7693. Randy, come to the right. Because I'm thinking about he's at the Gawler Dam. Where is he now? Because he's going to join here somewhere. Okay, my controls?
Your controls.
So we've got to start thinking about short field landing early. Because if all of a sudden we're up here way above circuit height, it's not going to make it. So we want to think about the runway and how we're going to drag it there. So I'm going to start to come down already. We're very high here. So this is all about speed control and height control. The flaps are up, fuel pump's still on. So again, I'm still looking at the runway, and I'm going to try and stop it before that white.
Before the threshold.
At least the second white one, if not the first one.
Understood.
Quite short, isn't it? And we're not going to jam the brakes on because it's only a simulation, but we're going to stop, right? And you'll know whether you would have been able to use the power to bring them on. So it's still coming down. Get myself under 80. And again, depending on the day, usually full flap. I'll go full flap now, get them out of the way. So I'm thinking ahead of myself all the time. Just keep going.
Traffic caller, Jabber 7385, turning right downwind, 13, touch and go, caller.
I'm still doing 80, so I'm going fairly fast here. Look at the runway over there. Give myself as much runway time as I can. So again, I'm doing, you can start to bring the power back about 65 turn here, as long as it's coordinated, that's the important thing. Now we're doing 60. We want to come in at about 55 knots. That's what I'm aiming for at the moment. So I've got to slow it all down. This is where this turn here particularly, you've got to be very careful that you've got a coordinated turn. So I'm going to use power to take me there. I'm not doing any work. So I'm just watching that airspeed and watching the runway. Caller traffic 7693, final 13 full stop, caller. Coordinated turn, bit fast. And this is where we can, depending on what the wind is doing here, we've got to drag it there with power. But now watching my airspeed, airspeed, airspeed. Oh shit, airspeed. 55 knots, looking nice. Does the picture look different to you?
Yeah, very shallow angle of approach.
Because we don't want to float, do we? Because we've got those white lines up here, watching my airspeed here. Airspeed, bit that tree's a bit there in my way. Don't bounce. Not a good example. That was with a float.
I'll set your flaps first stage.
Yeah, please, if you would. And 7693 vacating to the right. So that wasn't a perfect example, but we've got a lot of turbulence out there today. Do you notice that when I'm coming in?
I did, yeah.
So there he is over there. Got him spotted.
AS, 12 o'clock.
So you can see how it's power management. That's all it is. And if the worst comes to the worst, don't think for 1 minute you can't go around. Don't get fixated on with a landing. Go out there, get out, quick as you can. Come around and do it again. The paddock will still be here when you come around the next time. But you're not, I mean, you don't want to throw it on the ground, but you want to make it, it's a firm arrival.
7385, turning final, 13, touch and go, caller.
It's a firm arrival, a better way of putting it. Very positive landing. And 7693 will hold short, 13. There you go, you enter the runway.
Caller traffic, Jabber 7693, entering runway 13, caller.
I mean, he hasn't landed where we were stopped. That's the difference. Amazing, isn't it? So it's all about speed control. Airspeed control.
And do you want me to do a normal takeoff or
No,
short
no,
field?
do short field. Yeah, what you're here for. I enjoy doing these. I think they're fun. But again, don't force it. There'll be a tendency, if you had a fence there where the white line is, there'll be a tendency, I want to pull it back, back, back. No, the minute she wants to go, get it back under that ground effect. Even if the wheels just touch the ground again, it doesn't matter, because you want to get that airspeed to build up very quickly.
Understood.
Okay, you've done your FFI?
Yep.
Good to go.
Caller traffic, Jabber 7693, rolling runway 13, caller.
Full power, go, go. No, hold the brake, pull it back. There you got 3,000, let it go. Stay on stick, that's it. Start pulling back already. Pull back, pull back, pull back. Get that nose want to come up, there it is there. Not too high, not too high. Now nose down, not too much, that's it, keep it there. Alright, nose down, up and over the tree, up and over. Back into ground effect. Away you go, 65, 70 knots. Quick and easy, huh?
I like it.
Most people at this stage do enjoy it. Come over the runway, don't go to the right. So this is where you start to talk out loud as a pilot. You start to think ahead what I have to do.
Brakes are off. Fish checks, all good. Fuel is sufficient.
So get under 80, get your flaps set now.
Flaps full.
Yeah, go full flap. Yeah, my word, you're under 80. You want to do everything early. So
I'd
you
say
just
so.
think about landing. That's all you got to think about. I'll come with him just for safety. So they're about 60 knots is about right. We're ready for our turn. Keep going this way.
Making use of those coordinated turns feels really
Oh my word!
important here.
Now that's why we teach them at the beginning. Yep. Think about the landing now.
Caller traffic jumper 7693 on final runway 13, full stop, caller.
So slow it down. I'll come with him. And get ready to use power if you need to, right?
Understood.
Power back, power back, power back. Doing 65. What about 55? Bit of right foot. Get the nose around to the right a bit more, a bit to the left. That's better. Watching our airspeed here. We're
55.
coming down, so a bit of power now. That's keeping it there. Nice. Keep it there. Keep it there. Don't be too aggressive with your first one. Just looking good. Looking good.
Traffic caller, Jumper 7385, turning
more
right
power.
downwind, 13, full stop caller.
That's it. We're nearly over the trees. We are now, yeah. So now come down. Normal landing. Power back. Bit of right foot. Right foot, right foot, right foot. Get the nose around. That's it. Stop it. Handle the brake. Stop before I did.
Not bad.
Cross over the grass. Got to get the nose around square. Otherwise, you do what we did then, land sideways, which is
Oh,
the
it'll help
aircraft
you.
is forgiving, but you know there's forgiveness and forgiveness, isn't there?
Well, I think it helped it stop quicker.
You can look at it that way. Again, don't forget looking down your left bum cheek. Don't look over the middle. See, I'm looking down here. You think you're in the middle? You're not. Come to the right more. That's the middle there. Right? And again, another thing, if you're in a paddock, for example, you could actually do a rolling start here. So you really start to, you don't go too fast turning right, but you could get quite a bit of speed up before you get to the right-hand turn. There you go, he's gone past.
Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7693, lining up and rolling, runway 13, caller. Just that trim as well.
Yeah, got full power, let her go. Pull the stick back. The right foot, bring it on. Good. Stick back, stick back, stick back. There, she's just coming off now, that's it. Hold it there, keep it there, keep it there. Keep steering. Nose down, get the ground effect. Don't worry about that. Up and over the thing, that's enough. Down. There's your airspeed, away you go. Just over the runway, beautiful. Up you go. Good job. But again, because it is going to be a short field, always have to go around up your sleeve. You don't have to do it, you know, go around and do it again.
Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7693, on final, runway 13, full stop, caller.
Bit high this time. Bring the power all the way back. Otherwise we just gain speed, so we're doing 65 now. Come to the right a bit more. So all of a sudden we're high, we're doing 70, see, as we've got to come down. That's going to make it more difficult, but nevertheless you can still do it. That's looking better. Trickle of power now.
60 knots.
Watch those trees done. Good. Down. Power back. Nose down we are. Come down. Without any real extreme work, you've stopped that really easily, haven't you? Yep. Don't jerk them like that, it's fine.
Foot the white line.
Backtrack now, that's good.
Flap set first stage. Fuel pump is on. Fuel is sufficient. Instruments are all green. Just trim for takeoff. Good to go. Caller traffic, Jabberoo 7693, lining up and rolling, runway 13, caller. Microtrough.
So, yeah, I'm not looking at this, I'm looking at that. Because I'm looking for the most efficient. If you're putting petrol in your aircraft, you'd want to be using it as efficiently as you could. You want to get where you want to go for the least amount of money. And this is where you do it. Not like that, but like that. And when you, like my aircraft burning 25 litres an hour, you want to get every ounce of petrol, every ounce of energy you can get out of it. If you want to climb, you climb. You put the... And of course the reason we do that is we've got to steer clear of cumulus illuminus.
Other aircraft in the clouds.
Coming out of the cloud, that's exactly right. They are magic, aren't they?
Lovely.
No one else gets to play with them but pilots. Even jumbo jet guys, they go straight through it. No.
We'll start making our way down.
I would, otherwise you're never going to see breakfast tomorrow. Don't have too much fun. Got to stay within 1.5 kilometres of them. That's good. And 1,000 feet above and below.
And I have carby heat on.
Good. And that's right, so you're doing the right thing. You've got 2,000 revs on, you're descending and still coming down nice and fast. But you're keeping the engine warm by doing that. 119, 120 degrees. It's the shock of the engine that you want to avoid, particularly with air-cooled. Water-cooled is not as bad, but air-cooled is not good. So you can set yourself up for a crosswind join on 1-3.
Understood.
For a short-field landing.
Oh, come on. What about a normal landing?
No. No fun in that at all. Anyone can do that. Watch your speed. That's it. Don't let it get out of your hand. That's looking good.
Gawler traffic, Jabiru 7693 on final, runway 13, full stop, Gawler. 55 knots. Coordinated turn.
Start to come down a bit high now.
Power back.
All the way back. Very high. For a short field.
knots.
Gawler traffic, 7385 crossing 2305 Gawler.
65 knots. Trickle power. The right a little bit. 60 knots. Power back.
Bit of right foot, right foot, right foot. Right foot, that's it there. Don't worry about that. Right foot, get the right foot, get the nose around, that's it. No, that's good. No, I'll tell how I go. That's it. No, it's not. Cool, that's fine, let it go. That was good. Yeah, just be careful that you're not swinging that nose around early enough. And that's, instead of landing that way, you're sort of landing a bit sideways, which then gives it an undercarriage good shudder.